Welcome, welcome, welcome. Breath Master Aaron Motley here, your global community elder, bringing you for January 2021 and beyond the 30-day Master Your Life Masterclass because it's your body. No one is responsible for it but you. And I'm going to teach you or share with you some things and guide you towards total harmony with your body that's going to allow you to master life by mastering the functioning of your body and making this life experience such a divine and rewarding experience with a high quality of life for you in that vehicle. So, how are we going to do that? We've already moved along. And if you've been following and going along with me, you know that we're using the organ clock to get you in tune and in time with time for each and every one of your major organs. So, we're about to move into the third quadrant. This is day 17 of the 30-day Master Life Masterclass. We're moving into that third quadrant, which means that we're three-quarters of the way done with the organ clock. Once we finish this clock, which will be in another 3, 4 days, we're going to share some other things having to do with maintaining this body and enjoying this thing we call life in a very simple way. Now, you all know that I deal with master principles, i.e., the foundational, fundamental basics of whatever it is. And in this case, we're talking life. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and look at that organ clock. Let me share my screen. Y'all know I did this organ clock myself. I hand drew it, which you should have hand drawn yours by now. So what are we looking at in that? Whoa, this thing is, I turned this upside down. So, oh yeah, okay, let's do this. Okay, so the time frame is 11 p.m. to 1 a.m. And the organ in that time frame is the gallbladder. What are we supposed to be doing to support the gallbladder? Sleeping and allowing our body to regenerate. Now, what are the things that they talk about regarding the gallbladder on the organ clock? There's only one thing that they mention on this particular clock and it is gallstone pain. Whoa, that hurts to just even talk about it. So, since that's all that's there on that, let's go ahead and move on from the organ clock to ask your device portion of this scenario. So I asked my device about the attributes of the gallstone, and what I was given was a number of things. It was shared with me what the gallbladder is, how it's shaped, and its function. And its primary function is to store and concentrate bile. What is bile, you ask? Bile is a yellow brown digestive enzyme produced by the liver. You want to know what bile does? Figured you'd ask that. I'll look that up for you, but I'm going to tell you off the top of my head. It says enzyme. It helps to break down fats and lipids and proteins. And to be 100% sure, let me ask my device, what is bile? And it says bile is a digestive fluid produced by the liver and stored in the gallbladder. What is the function of bile? More appropriately, bile is a fluid that is made and released by the liver and stored in the gallbladder. Bile, echoing the same thing. Bile helps with digestion. Duh. It breaks down fats into fatty acids, which can be taken into the body by the digestive tract. I was right. I read this stuff before y'all. So now, gallbladder. What emotions are held in the gallbladder? Hmm. If you got gallstones, it might irritate. I haven't read it yet, but check it out. The emotion of anger. I guess if I got a gallbladder, besides the pain, I'm gonna be pissed off that I got this gallbladder that's just messing with me. The emotion of anger is associated with the choleric humor. Funny word, right? Term. Yeah, yeah. Don't sound too funny to me. So anyway, and can cause resentment and irritability. Yep, I would think so. It is believed that this emotion is stored in the liver and gallbladder, which contain the bile. Anger can cause headaches and hypertension, which can in turn affect the stomach and spleen. Remember what I said? Anything that's going on in the body or anything you put in your body, it's not going to affect one thing, it's going to affect the entire organism. So there you get this trickle down effect. Okay, you go from gallbladder to the liver to the spleen to the stomach, and it just keeps going. And when you got an issue with fats, which your liver actually, we're going to talk about that in one of these other two segments of this quadrant. Your liver functions with cholesterol. It actually makes cholesterol. And I'm gonna tell you something about cholesterol when we get to the liver. I got some stuff that's gonna be like, you were like, hmm. Let me mention a couple more things about the gallbladder since we're talking about fats and cholesterol. Y'all know there are foods that have an inordinate amount of fat and cholesterol. So I was thinking about one in particular because a lot of people consume dairy products, and we're always talking about hearing that you should stay away from dairy, and yada yada yada. It says, but stay away from saturated fats found in fatty meats, butter, and other animal products, as these fats increase your likelihood of developing gallstones and high cholesterol and other health risks. Yada yada yada. It says choose low fats, and it gets into other forms of meat and dairy products when it doesn't make sense to me. Because if it tells you to stay away from it, why are they going to turn around and tell you to drink the low calorie, low whatever? That don't make sense at all. Don't do stuff that'll kill you, but you can do it a little bit. Only kill yourself a little bit. Only be in pain a little bit. Doesn't make sense to me. So let me give you a little bit on my take about this subject matter to enlighten you. High cholesterol foods, they disrupt your body's natural production of cholesterol. They flood the body with cholesterol. Then your body has to process those things. Also, in particular, when you're talking about stones in the body, you're talking about calcifications. Most of those stones are not pebbles like you pick up off the ground. Those are little pebbles of calcified matter, similar to your bone, because your bone is made of calcium. I'm not saying that your bone chips away and forms into little um, pebbles. What I'm saying basically is that when you consume too much calcium, your body has to get rid of it. And if it can't get rid of it fast enough and it concentrates, it will turn into a gallstone or a kidney stone. The other thing about that is your body has too much calcium, it has to get rid of it. And in the process of getting rid of so much calcium, it begins to break the bone down because it's like, oh, I got so much calcium. I'm throwing out, it's like throwing the baby out with the bathwater, as they say. You're throwing the bone out with the excess calcium. Your body does that because it goes into overdrive, similar to when you eat some animal products and your body has to get rid of the excess uh, of whatever it is. There's been this debate or dispute or point of clarity where the amount of B vitamins, particularly B12, that the human body needs has been distorted based upon the fact that when you eat flesh, animal products, especially mammals who have B vitamins stored in their body, especially in their liver and so on, or in the whatever part of the body, you eat that body part, you're going to get a high concentration of B vitamin in your body that your body doesn't need. So anytime you get excess of anything that your body doesn't need, your body gets rid of it. And they have done this thing where they look and calculate based upon how much B vitamins a quote unquote normal person is getting rid of, person eating a normal diet. And they say, okay, well, if you're not secreting this much B vitamins, then that means that you are deficient in B vitamins. They're not saying that the person who is secreting so much actually has excess, so therefore their body's getting rid of it, which makes sense to me. They're saying that the people who aren't secreting excess are deficient. That don't add up in here. I don't know about their brain, but it don't add up to me. So what to do, how to figure out, and who to believe, like who you listen to. I'm going to tell you, listen to your body. If you feel you have a B vitamin deficiency, take some B vitamin, see what happens. Also, if you feel you had a B vitamin deficiency, eat some cabbage, clear your gut, and allow your body to create its own B vitamins. Then see if you have the difference in energy level that comes with being deficient versus being efficient. So that whole gallstone scenario is something that you don't want to have to deal with. So I would suggest that you minimize the not only excess cholesterol foods, but also the excess calcium foods. Bovine infant formula, i.e. what we call milk, is made by the mammary gland of a cow. The reason we are called mammals is because of the mammary gland. The women or females or girls or whatever of whatever species, the female of the species, whatever species that happens to be, that has a mammary gland, that group of animals are called mammals. Each one of them, the mammary gland secretes a specific formula of nutrients, hormones, chemicals, fats, proteins, all of those things specifically for the growth of that infant animal, period. So therefore, if this formula is extremely specific to that particular mammal and its infant, that means that it is not specific for another mammal species. Now, in my book, The Obesity Myth, You're Not Overweight, You're Overweight, I ask a question. And that question is this: do you think that you can raise a healthy cow off of human infant formula? Think about that. Most people are going to like, are you crazy? Because what comes to mind is this: a cow suckling a woman. How is that going to happen? Their mouth's too big. They might, anyway. Beyond that, there's not enough nutrients in a woman's body of the particular design that's going to create a calf, build a calf into a cow. Cows have way more calcium in their milk than humans do. So you have way more milk, way more calcium that your body has to get rid of. And calcium in the body, its purpose is to form bone and to buffer inflammation. So if you have excess calcium in your body's going to get rid of it. And if it's supposed to turn to bone, your body's getting rid of it. It starts to get rid of bone. And then And the process is going through the liver and going through the bile duct. It's concentrated and it turns into these little grainy pebbles. You got an issue because at that point it can't go through the bile duct. It gets trapped and there's pressurization and it's painful. So, I'm not going to ever tell you don't drink milk. I'm going to say if you do, these are the possible consequences. You know, there's so many other alternatives, and I'll talk about that as time goes on. My favorite is sorbet. When it comes to ice cream, oh my goodness, you freeze some fruit, put it in the blender, put a little coconut milk beverage. That's the other thing. If it's not coming from a mammal, it's not actually milk. If it's coming from a nut, a seed, or a grain, it's a beverage because milk only comes from the mammary gland. And also, be fully aware you're not going to drink milk from a rat. You're not going to drink milk from a rat. A cat. You're not going to drink milk from a dog. You're not going to drink milk from a squirrel. You're not going to drink milk from a wombat. You're not going to drink milk from a bat. You're not going to drink milk from a horse. Some people may do. Some people drink milk from goats. Some people drink. You're not an infant. You're not a baby goat. You're not a baby wombat or none of that. And the other thing about that is this: the infant stage of life is the most rapid growth phase. So when you drink cow's milk, you're saying that I want to grow at the rate of a baby cow who is born 80 pounds and can weigh up to 100, 120 within 30 days. Do you want to gain 40, 50 pounds in 30 days? That's what you're telling your DNA. Not a good thing. Anyway, I want to leave that alone because I know some people may be getting uncomfortable because of their addiction to milk and also cheese. And remember, cheese is concentrated milk. One slice of cheese, as this commercial used to be on back in the day, said they use 8 cups of milk to make one slice of cheese. 8 cups. That's 8 times 8. That's 64 ounces. That's a half a gallon of milk in one slice. 2 slices, gallon of milk. 4 slices, 2 gallons. And then you turn around and drink milk on top of that. Some people consuming through the way they're eating cheese, 4, 5, and 6, and 7, 8 gallons of milk in a setting. That's not going to help you and your health. And you wonder why your body is so huge and you got these cholesterol issues and blood pressure and all of this kind of stuff. Anyway, enough of that because it's depressing. It's depressing me, so I'm gonna stop that. I don't want to depress anybody. I just want to make sure that you are fully aware of the consequences of what you put in your body. So eat more vegetables. You want strong bones? Eat green vegetables. Period. And I'll talk about that in the latter stages of this 30-day scenario. Right now, I'm going to sign off because it's up to almost 20 minutes now. Okay, so Breathmaster A, the global community elder, signing off saying, take care of you because it is your responsibility and there's only one person walking around in that body with you, and that is you. Peace. Be kind to yourself.